The Critical Hit podcast contains foul language, sexual subjects, and other things that are inappropriate for children. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. This following episode also contains spoilers. Hello world and welcome to a special episode of Critical Hit, Foul Mouth Podcast, where we talk about everything. That's going to be really weird now I'm thinking about it, because our fucking intro music is playing. That's fine.
Yeah. You'll have to mute.
Yeah, cut it out.
This is the May the 4th episode. This is no Star Wars. I'm not going to say deep dive because we don't have the attention span for that, but we're going to fucking be very entertaining and very Star Warsy for a little bit.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of lightsaber noises starting now. Your job is now to edit in lightsaber noises.
I'm not going to do that.
Do it.
You guys are obviously ready. We are Critical Hit, and May the 4th starts now!
Dun 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 dun. Copyright.
Yep.
That wasn't long enough.
It probably also wasn't in tune enough.
No.
Nobody could. Yeah, our voices are way too fucking flat. Before we begin, Chrono, you have the floor.
What happens when you make brain organoids?
What?
Well, first you're gonna have to tell me what an organoid is.
An organoid is something grown in a lab out of stem cells.
Oh, and they made a fucking brain?
They made a mini brain, and it grew eyeballs.
Whoa.
On its own. They didn't add the eyeballs to it.
What? How did it know to grow eyeballs?
So,
Watch out, everybody. This is gonna fucking start getting into really weird territory.
this article is from December of last year. It's Science Alert is the website. It's scientists grew mini brains from stem cells, then the brains sort of developed eyes. And I will post this on the Twitter, but you can see the picture. The little black spots
Whoa.
are eyes.
Wow, they're really not fucking around with that.
Wow.
And it's mini brains grown in a lab from stem cells spontaneously developed rudimentary eye structures, scientists reported in a fascinating paper in 2021. On tiny human-derived brain organoids grown in dishes, two bilaterally symmetrical optic cups were seen to grow, mirroring the development of eye structures in human embryos.
Oh boy.
Holy shit.
Them's homunculuses.
That's what it's going to turn into, yeah. This is going to be Full Metal Alchemist.
I just
Live
said
action.
homunculases. That was fucking
Homunculi.
incorrect. Yeah, that was really incorrect.
Well,
Asshole.
the idea of research with this is like, oh, if we inflict certain amounts of traumas on these organoids, can we watch how something like Alzheimer's develops or something like that?
Oh, dude, that's kind of cool. Because
And fucked up.
Yeah,
Well-
dude, it's a brain.
hold on. Hear me out.
Science isn't always pretty.
Hear me out. Wait.
Come on.
There's more to it. What I'm saying is, imagine if you could like petri dish a brain, you could fix somebody's like damaged brain.
Some synapses.
yeah.
That is the idea behind it. It is allowing us to watch the development of brain structures and things like that, right? Because that's the thing, right? Stem cells are basically one of these miracle things in science that have a lot of potential.
What, like, can I just ask as a sidebar? Because this is kind of a deep dive sidebar. But why the fuck aren't we doing more with that?
There was
some,
a lot of things. Embryonic stem cells was the original branch of research, and that was very heavily,
controversial.
restricted, controversial. But they've learned that there's other kinds of stem cells, like they can take cells off of your teeth, out of your nose, and those are just stem cells.
Oh, I mean, I guess I can see why that was controversial.
Don't they keep your foreskin for circumcised babies? I think that's one of the things, isn't it?
They're not supposed to. That's supposed to be medical waste.
Put that fucking nope. Don't put that shit anywhere else.
But I mean,
Oh my gosh.
a lot of like placentas have been donated from healthily born babies, so embryonic stem cell research is still ongoing technically.
But it's really not that fucked up if you think about it. Like if they're donating the shit, what's the big deal?
you gotta watch where you get it from. You know, I think.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. That makes sense. So my bad. I'm not that smart.
You're our resident himbo. It's fine.
That's the new hit video game from Capcom.
Resident Himbo. Well, that's Leon Kennedy.
Yo, yeah, that's right. That is true.
He really is the resident himbo.
And Resident Evil 5, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just punched boulders.
He was just big and strong.
Okay.
And had that.
Can I say that was one of my favorite parts of Resident Evil 7?
Fucking
When Heisenberg calls him the boulder punching asshole.
That was insane to me. That's insane that you're gonna lean into, because it was asinine. It was all over the fucking place.
you almost feel like it was like they kind of retconned it. It almost felt like it because they didn't talk about that.
But then they brought it back up. It was like, really?
Motherfucker can punch boulders with the best of them.
But at least they like embraced the stupidity a little bit.
Yeah, I'm glad. The only reason why he doesn't punch boulders now is because he's older. You get older, you punch less boulders.
Now I feel like Chris Redfield just looks at them and they would just crack.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
starting to get like that fucking Conqueror's hockey from fucking One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, he do be like the next level of Resident Evil protagonist. It's kind of funny because people think that Leon is that. No, that is not true. That's
But you want to know what's kind of crazy? Is this is kind of the perfect segue into Resident Evil, weirdly enough. Growing brains that grow eyes.
that will eventually grow bodies that will be those creepy spiky ones. You
Well,
remember the ones I'm talking about.
You're a Cthulhu beast piloting a bone mech in skin armor.
Worse fucking armor. Like, you'd think we'd get better armor.
That is the coolest way to describe a human being, though.
Actually, your skin is remarkably good at protecting you.
Yeah, no.
Fair.
I agree, because if all of my inside shit was not protected by outside shit, i.e. skin.
Because here's another thing to remember, right? Our ancestors that hunted woolly mammoths, they walked them to death.
Yeah.
We're very good at walking forever.
Imagine being an animal, like you're running so hard to survive, and every time you look back, these cunts are just like slowly walking.
that would be
It was
terrifying.
basically a matter of you stick it with enough spears to start bleeding it out a little bit, and it's running away.
So I have a question, just to kind of
We gotta get back on these
that's what I'm saying.
self-growing eyes.
So the thing
Okay.
is, how did it know? Like, where did it?
Okay.
Because if you're growing a brain, right, you probably have like brain adjacent shit, right?
Well,
To grow the brain, right?
stem cells are building blocks.
The idea of a
Yeah.
stem cell is that it just doesn't do anything until it finds something to program to.
How
That's why like they can attach them to a liver and then suddenly your liver has new cells.
So what made it just be like, I'm going to grow fucking eyes, which happened to be like a head facial thing?
Well,
Which
when a baby is growing in the womb, the first thing that it develops is a brain and a heart.
we're talking about natural shit.
Actually,
When we
the first
talk about
thing that
that.
develops is
Butthole.
Yep. And mouth.
I fucking hate you for that. I've never heard you so enthusiastically exclaim butthole.
But yeah, like it already, those cells already know what to do. It's just in a really weird backdrop. I could go build a house right now, you know, it just like depending on where and what, like what's in the background. Doesn't really matter. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
And neither does that.
That's a good point.
Them motherfuckers are just fucking growing eyes.
That's the idea, right? Is that because these are taken from human brains, we are a very visual based species. more than hearing, sight. Touch is probably technically our second best sense because it's the one we use all the time besides sight.
Could you imagine if it was a dog? Floating brain with a nose.
Yeah. But it's
Dude, that's
allowing
dumb
them
as
to
shit.
like watch how these processes form, right?
Yeah. And get it mastered. Because what I want you to be able to do by the time I die is to remake remake my brain, excuse me, and put it into a new body. A sexier body.
A female body.
You're
I
trying
guess.
to get that Motoko Kusanagi thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna be macking chicks just like you know.
That'll conclude this wacky world of science.
Oh my gosh. Absolute degeneracy. How did we come to this?
Our resident himbo.
Yeah. It's just like a really creepy, just horny himbo.
That's fun.
I want titties when I come back.
Why do I gotta be creepy?
Like, imagine you close your eyes as an old man on your deathbed.
And then you wake up with gorgeous titties.
Oh my gosh. I Oh my gosh.
Like, what the fuck? What is happening?
I was like, you'd be Palpatine. Just a gross, pervy Palpatine.
Knew it.
Right.
Are you
Ready
sure
to
you
throw that switch?
Are you sure? Are you sure you want this body?
Do it. Do it so I can blew it.
Damn it. Oh my gosh, I can't. Welcome to the May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
So your first image for this episode is Emperor Palpatine getting ready to switch.
Well, okay. So if you think about the story of the last three movies, that's what he wanted to do to Rey.
Dude!
Oh!
Do it.
Don't damage the supple flesh.
That is horrible.
No wonder she's always running real fast in these fucking movies. You ever notice that? She's always just in a flat sprint every scene.
Very serious face.
If that was coming after you, you would be too.
Yep, I'll be gone, bro. I'm right next to her.
So
And I'm not even in that good shape.
just running as hard as you can.
You're going to die like a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
He's just going to be walking.
I'm breathing like a fucking wildebeest, bro.
He's just like scooting along.
It's just hovering slowly. Those fucking weird spider legs.
It's like the new Mike Myers or like the new Jason.
Yep.
It's just walking. Do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Like he's got a little fucking mini me for no reason.
It's just grown out of his shoulder.
Take it.
Oh shit. Fucking Palpatine, man.
Smell Patine.
So
My mini me smell Patine.
Shoots him out of his shoulder like fucking Dreepy out of Dragon Ball.
holy shit.
Oh, it's
And
disturbing.
he does that fucking crazy ass flip move that he did in episode 1.
Yes.
It was like, if you watch that scene, it was really unexpected.
Yeah, there's no fucking
Fire the smell Patine. Do it.
Do it.
It just does the same thing. It's like they cut and paste it, and it's just Lil.
Yeah,
They just shrunk it down,
like the same exact footage. Like they don't even upscale it.
doing that same crazy ass laugh he was doing. Dude, he was elated that he got the surprise round.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He was like, "What's this, Yoda? You rolled a 4 on initiative. I have a 20 on my icosahedron."
goes flying through the air. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. All right. But back to on topic, even though weird Palpatine is rather on
Yes.
topic.
Dead by Daylight, Star Wars edition.
That would be something else.
So here's the thing. I will say that Star Wars has been doing some wild crossovers and they've been turning out really good.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm kind of like excited about is that like that seems to be the strongest thing of Star Wars right now. Like I think that Star Wars has come up with some kind of like good original games, like obviously that new Jedi game was
Survivor.
Yep. That came out, which was obviously really good.
Good game.
But
Fuck Ubisoft, though.
Yeah. There's the other problem is that AAA developers are holding Star Wars hostage.
Well, this is going to be the craziest fucking sentence that I will probably ever say. EA was releasing good Star Wars games.
Ooh.
It was technically developed by Respawn, but Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor are Respawn published by EA.
Yeah. So
what do you guys think about those Battlefront games? Not the original PlayStation 2 versions, but
The newer ones?
uh,
So I think my biggest problem is that they don't have Galactic Conquest, which is my favorite mode in the original ones.
I think the weirdest part of that game is when you spawn the like the heroes
Mhm.
and it goes third person.
yeah.
And the controls are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a bar of soap with a fucking blade.
Well, that was why the original one was so much better, right? Because you could just play in third person, so it wasn't so jarring to be a hero.
Well, the second one, I thought the second one did have a third person option for everybody.
No, it was playing like Battlefield. It was Battlefield.
It was developed by DICE.
Yeah. It was well, that was my initial problem with those games is because it was essentially just Battlefield with a Star Wars
Futuristic
game.
Battlefield.
Yeah. A modder could have done that on PC
Yeah.
easily.
And probably done it better.
Yeah, I will say the spectacle, the spectacle of the whole thing was actually really cool. Like when you first like see scenes from the two new Battlefront games, it was actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like the backgrounds were really cool.
But one of the biggest fucking problems is that it's always 64 size player lobbies, right? Like, and that is fucking entirely EA and DICE.
Yeah,
Because Battlefield, that's all you get is 64.
and Battlefield ain't been doing good either.
And fucking PUBG can fit 100 people in a map.
Yeah,
And PUBG, let's be fair, has polygons like dog shit. It is still a solid battle royale, but it is not pretty. It's a lot of brown.
It is not
Yeah.
updated in years.
Actually, they are doing an Unreal 5 update for PUBG. Like they're adding destructible terrain.
yeah, I forgot
They
about
might
that.
come back.
A lot of games are doing Unreal 5 updates, so
It makes sense.
yeah, I mean it certainly does. I don't hate on it.
Because, like, PUBG, that's the thing, right? You actually had to know to aim up if you're sniping at a distance. You gotta, like, track your bullet trajectory and shit. So there was actually, like, skill to it.
And I think that's kind of cool for a battle royale. Because
Granted, the cucks on Sandhawk that always go for the fucking M1 in the middle of the map can eat a dick.
That was so fucking savage.
I think that I'll say this real quick before I get into more details about what I thought about those Battlefield or Battlefront games. I think that having a battle royale where you have to focus a lot more on like actual tactical stuff is actually a cool idea because it's the closest thing to like actual legit warfare,
Yeah.
and that's kind of cool.
But that's what I'm saying, right? I would like to see a Battlefront style PUBG.
Yeah, that would be really cool. But I
Like,
think,
Imagine Hoth
yeah,
with that like level of like the snow crunching under your feet and shit. And we know it can be done, right? Because like, look at the snow textures in like the God of War games.
yep, amazing. But
Now, I don't
think,
want Santa Monica to make it because they're not a shooter studio.
Well, also they'll just make God of War, but
That'd be a pretty
God
good,
of Star
yeah.
Wars.
But I think Battlefront, this might be controversial. I think it should get smaller. So I think
What?
because here's the thing, it's been done big lobbies, lots of players, fucking frantic shooting. Okay, cool. But what I kind of would like to see, now it might be a little bit too Jedi orientated, but what I would like to see is kind of like the equivalent of For Honor.
Oh, okay.
But as a
Star Wars game. See, you were mentioning that, and I was actually thinking like Star Wars Republic Commando.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like something like that. Like, I think that would kind of be cool.
But like a squad-based shooter.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be sick.
Yeah, bring it a little slower.
I forgot about the Commando.
Because I think that so
you might
many
be able to buy it on PlayStation.
that you might be actually.
I know you can get it on Xbox.
I know you can get the original Battlefront games too.
Yeah,
they have little HD remasters.
Well, we'll come to that.
Yeah. But I think that'd be a cool idea. Because I think so many games, like, they get lost in that thing of like, oh, we got to compete to be the next bigger, better this. But I think it just kind of gets really like samey.
You're right.
I mean,
because that's the thing, right? If we hear Battle Royale now, we're like, why?
Yeah, because there's so many and they all do the exact same fucking thing.
Right.
Yep. Drop in, find guns.
Because that's just it, right? You're competing with Fortnite, Apex, or Modern Warfare.
Yep. Yeah.
And slightly PUBG, but PUBG has a very dedicated player base.
Yeah, they're like kind of like a cult classic type of thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to get them away from that if you tried.
Yeah. Which I guess there always has to be a game like that. but
well, console players tend to, you get a game and you play it to death.
Yeah, that is
Predator Hunting Grounds on PC, dead. Still has a very healthy player base on console.
I think the PC platform has the problem having too much to choose from.
That's also true.
Because
then also you got shit like
there goes all of our drinks.
Saw that.
Fuck all of it.
Clean off his table.
If we had the forest, we could pick it back up without having to bend down.
Flexibility is important.
Flexibility is not there.
Offensive players are like fucking.
Oh, they're
because Counter-Strike has a second game out. It's Counter-Strike 2. It's full ass, and they're just like, nope.
Offensive. Like I don't need that in my life.
We've kind of got off of topic.
It's a weird, like, interweaving topic. We're like in and out and in and out.
We're weaving in and out like we're drunk in traffic. It's fine. Don't drink and drive.
Depends on what you want to do.
No, it doesn't.
We do not condone himbo behavior.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to get caught saying it.
I hop in the TIE fighter and
but I just go on a bender and fucking get in the TIE fighter and just
Bender, we love you. Shut up, baby. I know it.
Yo, remember though,
TIE Interceptor.
Before we get back into it, do you remember when we were younger, Red King, and we had the fucking X-Wing and the TIE fighter?
Yep.
The toys that like they had the sound effects. It was so cool, dude.
They were on those little handles.
Yeah.
And that you could like kind of fly them around and like shoot at each other. And it was like basically it was like a infrared blaster. It was like a fucking remote control.
Yeah.
And if it landed on the sensor, then the ship would blow apart.
Yeah, they were the coolest fucking things ever,
those,
dude.
yeah.
Those were sick, dude. I don't think I have seen besides actual drones, because I'm sure they probably have a TIE fighter or an X-Wing has a drone by now. But
depends on licensing.
True. It would have to be who owns Star Wars license for toys?
Disney.
Disney.
Hasbro.
I thought it was I don't know why I thought it was Mattel.
Mattel might be it.
Mattel might be fucking it. I remember wrong a lot. So we'll see.
Google foo. Let's see.
Yep.
I mean, Star Wars Legos were always cool.
Yeah, Star Wars. I think those are still really cool.
They are, because they have like the Jedi Starfighter and shit.
Oh yeah. No, I think Star Wars they own the zone for Lego, I think.
Yeah.
Because like if you think about Star Wars' relationship to Lego, it's been such an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
That like the original Lego games that really like put Lego games on the map was Lego Star Wars. And like fucking 3 of them and then some. You know what I mean?
There's 9 of them now.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
They have the entire Skywalker saga. It's on sale right now for May the 4th.
Oh, shit. go buy
That's
it.
kind of a cool thing. Is like every year you can count on them games going on sale.
Yeah, that is a really cool thing. So it's
Well,
like
we're on the tail end of Golden Week too, so.
I remember
Spend some money.
Red King was talking about Golden Week.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to get like some good JRPGs, they're on sale for a few more days.
Well, you
Like
know what?
Dragon's Dogma.
You know what pisses me off about that? I was actually just going to talk about that. This is another sidebar. I bought Dragon's Dogma 2.
Mhm.
I bought fucking Persona 3 Reload,
Mhm.
both before Golden Week.
You're a sucker.
Have you played them at all?
I played Persona 3 Reload a little bit, but
Are you more than 2 hours in?
no. Well,
Refund,
Well-
rebuy.
So here's the thing. I actually don't know about that because I do want to mention one thing again before we continue. But JRPGs like Persona, too fucking long of an opener. Too fucking long. It is legit. Like I actually might be like 3 hours into it because it's like 3 hours before you get in your first fucking fight.
Yeah.
It was mind numbing.
Bro, do you understand how big the social sim aspect is in Persona games?
Like, I know it's giant and all that, and I get it, but I guess I like undersold the whole idea of like how long that was gonna fucking take. Because I thought it was like, get into a couple fights. Like, you should open with a fight. Let's get that out of the way. But anyways, I thought it was gonna be like get into a couple fights and then pull like a fucking Fire Emblem thing. Do a little fucking shit chat.
No.
But it's not that
Gotta
at
go
all.
through school
I go to
days
fucking
and-
school,
Yes.
dude. I literally have to sit in a class
And take tests and shit.
like, fuck that.
is amazing.
And you gotta pay attention and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You
they-
can fail the classes and it affects the game.
It's fucking crazy to me. Now, granted, I am going to play the fuck out of it. I am definitely, because I've always wanted to. That's the first Persona game I've ever tried. Literally ever. I've never.
I need to play one too. I haven't played any of them either.
So I'm gonna, because apparently,
You might like Shin Megami Tensei more though if you prefer action though.
Yeah. by a
I
long shot.
played the Devil Survivor,
Mhm.
Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor for the DS. Because again, DS naming mantra. But I really liked those. Those were cool.
Yeah.
And they were very much like a lot of the sort of visual novel type shit. But I think they did it a little better because it wasn't so fucking much. like it's like I'm gonna spend fucking 3 hours in school and then like 30 minutes running through this fucking procedurally generated dungeon.
Yep.
And if you could fucking lose it, you could get fucking fucked right out of the dungeon and then you're back in school the next day. Like, fuck, man.
Just like real life.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying, man. I get fucked out of the fun shit to go fucking take your responsibilities.
That was an amazing tangent.
Yep. I'm sorry. Anyway, you have some shit. I see you. You got some shit. I'm sorry.
Is it time to dunk on Ubisoft? Because I'm always here for that.
No.
Damn it. And they made For Honor. Published. Sorry.
I'm gonna try to rank the worst mascots in Star Wars.
Okay.
All right. All right. So is this a pre-existent list? And then we're gonna.
Nope, I'm trying to figure it out in real time.
Okay. All right. This is like a fucking tier list. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my own tier list.
Okay.
Because like we have
You're going for the worst mascots?
worst mascots.
C3PO.
Whoa.
Find yourself.
Whoa.
C3PO sucks.
So, but
The droids don't even they don't even rank.
Really?
On
Okay.
the worst,
On
they
the-
don't even rank.
I said C3PO. R2D2 is cool as fuck.
yeah, but like,
Neither am I, dude.
yeah, C-3PO. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm like fucking C-3PO. He's the best shit ever. Like, I don't think he's like amazingly cool, but I don't think he's the worst.
He
His-
saves them exactly one time with
His
the Ewoks.
his voice
Yeah.
actor is amazing.
I don't hate the actor. I hate the character.
That goofy walk. I mean, that's fucking cool.
Okay.
He looks like he's got
You know who's a
broomstick on
better
his ass.
droid? Everybody. IG-88, IG-11, R2-D2, T3M4, HK-47.
Stop. According to
Fucking meat bag.
According to Disney,
Ouch.
HK-47 does not exist.
Actually,
Huh?
Is it too close to AK-47? Is that why?
No,
No.
it's just the entirety of Knights of the Old Republic.
so remember in The Mandalorian,
Oh my gosh! I
the
forgot about that.
HK-801 or HK-80, I think.
Damn it. Okay.
So the HK series exists.
So, no, that's kind of crazy because I think I've watched all of one episode of The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian's
Baby
really-
Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, ranks, Baby Yoda.
Why is Grogu on your list for worst? That's terrible.
Fuck that fucking little piece of shit.
Why?
Because I'll boot him through the air. I hate fucking little cute mascot versions of already existent cooler characters.
Bro uses force choke.
Fuck him. Fuck him. I'm
He
not
is
saying
cool.
he probably does cool things. He is a piece of shit. He's a flaming bag of shit on your front porch. I hate him.
Mando is his fucking dad.
Yeah, and he's cool.
That is the best fucking dynamic in the show, besides the fact that, like, Bo-Katan is now his mom.
I didn't know that happened. I'm gonna be honest. Like I
You
said,
need to watch the fucking show, you
I'll-
fucking himbo.
I think I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I think Grogu is like he's like first or second.
Fucking
Jar Jar Binks
Jar Jar Binks is first, 100%.
third.
What?
Who are you putting first?
Who? All right, yeah. All right. Wait. We're getting out of hand here. We're getting out of hand. How many do you plan on ranking, first of all?
Let's do 5.
Okay, 5. All right.
Number 1, BB-8.
Number 1 is BB-8?
Really? You think BB-8 is the most annoying mascot character?
He's the worst.
Compared to Jar Jar fucking Binks? Fuck that guy. Get him out of there. Nope. Jar Jar Binks is 1 for me. Easy. That's an easy one.
Nope.
That's an easy one, dude. He's annoying by every fucking facet. His design is annoying. His voice is annoying. Like how he speaks, besides just
annoying.
like it's everything about him sucks, dude.
The Gungans really are.
I wanna-
worst
I wanna-
fucking
The
races.
Gungans are insane.
Yeah, and he's fucking and his
It is a fever dream.
and the bad CGI makes it worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? like it does
That was cutting edge shit back when it came out.
it does no fucking favors for him because
BB-8. You want to know why BB-8's the worst?
why?
Absolutely no personality. BB is just like a ball, right? Because like B is for ball. BB is like BB, like a fucking airsoft BB. 8 is the shape of the actual droid turned sideways.
Or 2 balls.
Yeah, it's just balls. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Get out of here with your balls.
He's big balls 8.
Yeah, exactly.
It just rolls around. It's like the fucking BB-8 really expensive movie tie-in toy that kind of did the same gyroscopic thing was slightly interesting, but it's altogether 0%.
I can't do
Number 2,
Okay.
Grogu, because
I can actually agree on that.
Fucking wrong.
Grogu be generating like 50-year-old grouchy Karen memes the same way that Minions be doing.
So here's the thing. What people do, first of all, you got to be proud of the fact that merch didn't come out before they announced Grogu.
Fair. That's the first good thing they've done.
This is
Concerning
true,
Grogu.
but then they released Galactic Snack and Grogu that
Ga-
one year. and I was
Galactic
like,
snack. And here's the thing. This is why I don't like Grogu. Because Grogu basically created a whole legion of not actual Star Wars fans. It's just a bunch of thoughts with Grogu fucking plushies.
I was gonna, yeah, it is not to be a gatekeeping piece of shit because it really feels like I'm being a gatekeeping piece of shit. I'm gonna preface it with that because it feels gatekeeping is all fuck, right? Because it probably is. But I don't like the fakeness of the fandom.
Yeah, because
They're like 0% about Star Wars, all about Baby Yoda. And they call him Baby Yoda, even though the motherfucker's name is Grogu.
I'm calling him.
They kind of took too long to put his name out there.
Also, I'm calling him Baby Yoda because that's a fucking joke. He's a joke. He doesn't deserve a name. Fuck that fucking guy.
It's better than Baby Yoda because it for a hot minute, because I kind of got into that series late. for a hot minute, I really thought it was like some really weird
Time bullshit.
Yeah, some time bullshit. It was like literally Yoda.
No.
And I was
I'm
tripping a little bit.
It's Grody. His new name is Grody.
Number 3 is Jar Jar Binks.
Man, if you put Jar Jar any lower, I'm coming across the table. Even though that would just have me meeting a wall if you saw her set up.
If you just jump across the table and just fucking wholesale yourself into a wall just to spite me.
The wall that's not attached to the ground.
Let me show you how angry this makes me.
Oh my gosh, you fucked my whole basement up.
I'm going to knock this wall out of place for a second time.
He really needs glasses, folks.
Anyways, go ahead.
Damn. Okay, right? Number 3 is Baby Hutt. The Baby Jabba the Hutt from the Clone Wars OVAs is what I'll call them.
So here's the thing.
Number 4 is Jar Jar Binks.
You're a fucking psycho. You're a fucking psycho.
See, he keeps lowering Jar Jar, who I agree is the worst thing to ever fucking happen to Star Wars besides fucking Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
Ouch. Okay, sorry. Hang on. Okay. I could do better. And I will.
Wow.
He's going to lower Jar Jar again.
Why do I feel like
he's going to lower him out of his top 5?
Jar Jar's number 5.
Oh my gosh. What's number 4?
Baby Jabba the Hutt, number 4.
Okay.
What's number 3 now?
Finn.
Finn is not a
They did bad shit to Finn.
That was the meanest shit I had.
He's not a mascot character. They didn't use him well.
You're a fucking dick for that.
Sorry, they didn't utilize his character well. I shouldn't say use.
Yeah, true.
They did use
You're
him.
a dick for that.
They did use him. There we go. That's my top 5.
So I think Chewbacca should have ended up in there somewhere. Undoubtedly a fucking mascot character. Undoubtedly,
But
not
good.
One of the worst.
He's good.
So here's what I'm gonna say about Chewbacca. This is why I hate Chewbacca. So here's the thing. This is what I'm gonna say about Chewbacca. Chewbacca wasn't really cool until a bunch of other media came out. Chewbacca was just
the coolest. Besides the droids,
Stop.
the coolest parts of the original.
fucking stop. No, he wasn't.
Are you kidding me? They had full ass robots in the original trilogy. They had full ass robots, all the way robots.
Yeah,
Dude, like C-3PO was fucking the size of a human and gold. And then you had R2-D2. Little campy, but pretty good. Then you had
7-foot furry.
calm your fucking self, first of all.
I like Chewbacca, but
you have added to my point. Thank you.
And he was shooting people.
He was. So here's the thing, though. He looks like that fucking picture that you always see of Bigfoot. That's just Chewbacca. You know what I mean?
He's kind of Sasquatchy.
It looks just
He's
as
a Sasquatch
shitty.
with a
How
grenade
did this
belt.
episode turn into the one where we're fighting each other this much?
The last episode
This is
got
why
pretty
people
crazy. at the
fucking
end.
hate nerds.
The last Star Wars episode got pretty crazy.
That's
at the end.
true.
You called me a reprobate.
I think you have insulted him in anything concerning Star Wars.
This is why people don't like Star Wars fans right here.
Like, if we get into sci-fi, you have called him some of the worst shit.
It is true. It's like kind of your wheelhouse.
Oh shit!
Damn it! No, okay, so that's your list. You know what I mean? You fucking put I can't accept putting Jar Jar at 5.
I'm waiting for Jar Jar to fall out of top 5.
I think I think that any given day it seems like it could happen.
Because, like, how are you not going to cover Porgs, Ewoks, Tauntauns?
Okay.
That's
So
fair.
Porgs should make their way in there, number 3. I'm not gonna be really mean.
Yeah, so
Porgs are number 3.
so okay, so you took because Finn was kind of the joke answer.
Yeah. I just
Like, if you
I
want to
needed a
talk
good
about
laugh track on that one.
if you want to talk about wasted character potential, Finn is absolutely up there.
Yeah, Finn, and also like all trailer material was like a cock tease.
Yep.
like
So I have this kind of, I don't know, this might actually be treading into some really weird territory. It's not that.
okay. I was waiting.
So what happens a lot is it's a phenomenon I like to call pet boys. And like, I feel like they turned my boy Finn into a pet boy for Rey.
Eh?
And like, because
Yeah.
another version of this, like, you ever watch Steven Universe?
Oh gosh.
Like the self-titled fucking character, the main character of that series, he's just a pet boy to the gems.
You're absolutely right about that.
And what does that make me sound like? I don't know, but I'm gonna disengage from it before it makes me sound worse. But they did him dirty.
I mean, you're right, considering in episode 8, when the ship's being attacked, first thing he does when he wakes up is walking around in, like, medical tubing. Rey!
Yeah,
Dude.
pet boy. They fucked him
Yeah.
up. They fucked him up. Great character, great potential for a character. Fucked him up.
They did him dirty.
Porgs are definitely number 3 though.
You know what? Fair.
So we got BB-8.
Jawas,
No.
Tusken Raiders,
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, that's your top 5.
No, Jar Jar's number 1.
It's everybody's number 1. You're just a fucking psycho.
Because here's the thing, right? Jar Jar is literally the person that let Palpatine happen. Regardless of how you feel about Grogu's impact on the fandom or anything, Jar Jar was literally the person that killed democracy.
He might be secretly a Sith Lord. That's the theory.
Yeah, I know that's the theory. It's a
Wouldn't
terrible fucking theory.
that be fucking wild? He's so
Episode-
scary. Shut the fuck up.
Misa electrocutes you and then he dies because he's a fucking fish. So he's always wet.
Oh my.
He's
fucking-
technically a frog.
Oh
But
my stars and garters.
Also gross.
just imagine that. If he really was, the first time he goes to use fucking force lightning, he just fries himself.
I believe him to be dumb enough to do that. So that's on brand for him.
Fucking
just
shoves his face in the fucking coupling beam.
He's just pretending to be dumb. Guys.
If this motherfucker hops around me talking all of his stupid shit with his idiotic ears and then touches me with his gross wet hand, I'm breaking.
You know
everything.
he doesn't wash after going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
too.
you know he fucking
no.
doesn't.
You want to know what? He probably doesn't, but he probably doesn't wipe.
He uses his fucking ears to wipe.
No,
Yeah.
he squats. He squats the toilet. He doesn't seem
he
like
just
he doesn't seem
jumps
like
as he's shitting and just leaves it.
no. He doesn't seem like an ass on the toilet type of guy. You want to know what he is? Hands up in the air, squat over the toilet, fire it out. No wiper, pants up, out the door.
He's got shit to do.
No wipe, no wash.
No wipe, no wash. He just gets after it. Fucking.
Misa, no hands, mama.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fucking Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon needed more than just them little breathers in that water.
Sheesh.
So
Fucking pink eye for days.
I do want to say that, like, what do y'all think was like the coolest Star Wars armor? Because there's been some pretty fucking cool ones. There's been some really, really questionable ones.
So okay. Episode 8, for the most part, is my least favorite one.
I feel like I know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
But I actually super like the Praetorian Guard armor.
Yep.
And that is the best scene in that movie.
Yep.
Is the fight scene with Rey and Kylo against the Praetorian Guard.
Yep. I completely agree.
Like, the fight choreography in that movie was fucking on point.
Yep.
The writing was not. The directing was fucking not.
Yep. I 100% agree, because I was about to, I didn't know the name of it, so thank you for bringing that up. But that was exactly what I was going to
I liked the Jedi armor from the Clone Wars.
That's fair.
Just for theming. Because
Yeah.
it's, it's something they should never do. Become soldiers.
Yeah.
And they still kept the Jedi feel, and they just started cracking on armor, man. And it maybe, like, the design, it's just blase. It's just fucking gray panels. But
if we're going into extended media, fucking Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 had some kick-ass fucking armor that still lets you use force powers, man.
Yeah. I think that, so in stark contrast, the Knights of the Republic 1 original had some of the worst fucking armor I have ever seen, except for them thick booty hoes. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
They were not fucking around with that. It's like, you got all these people talking about fucking Stellar Blade these days. I'm like, Knights of the Old Republic, bitch.
Basta LaShawn, motherfucker.
That was wild.
Shut the fuck up. And it was like fucking, it was like the fucking Naruto Jonin, you know what I mean?
I will say it is canon that she has a son with Revan.
No shit. So, hey, we have all fucked past.
She was like Space Angela White.
Fuck.
Can't unsee now.
Fuck. I will say though, Kylo Ren did have really cool armor.
I did like Kylo's armor as well.
Yep, I thought his armor was actually really fucking
best
awesome.
armor. One of the best armors. One of the worst lightsabers.
I liked the idea behind his lightsaber.
I think that was the thing. I think
Claymore type.
I liked the idea, right? But it's like Count Dooku had like the fencing saber, right?
Yep.
That's why his was cool, because like his stance was very different.
Yeah. I think it could have been really cool. And like even the scene where you first like see him like bring out his lightsaber is really fucking, it's like the idea, like you said, is very
like
cool.
It was crackety.
Yeah.
I like that it wasn't.
Well, that's
wasn't
the
like
idea, right? Like Kylo he's not a skilled. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. He is a skilled fighter, but he is very much, if Kylo were to be a D&D character, he would be a barbarian, right?
Yeah.
He is actually a very skilled fighter, but he is very prone to anger.
And I think like, so I will say that that's good. That's a good analysis, because that's kind of in just that original scene where you see him, they're all freaking knocked into that snow and you see him stand up and he brings out his lightsaber, but he's not in like this fucking flourishy pose.
No, he's just holding it.
Yeah.
He looks a lot like Machine Vader.
Yeah, I think that actually is a very cool like,
because like
conveyance.
I think they could have had the idea of like steam coming off of the lightsaber to signify the venting without the cross guards.
Yeah.
I think that would have changed it enough to still be cool.
Yep.
The idea that he's overheating his lightsaber crystal
Oh, that
with
actually
anger, so it's steaming, right? Doesn't actually hurt him, and it's a cool cosmetic effect, but it creates the same thing without a dumb lightsaber edition.
That
right?
was the cross guard. It was vents.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he has a cracked kyber crystal.
Oh, okay.
That could have been a lot cooler.
I never even thought of it.
So that's it. That is good though. I think Steam would have actually been a really
Because
cool
it creates the same idea, right? He's still so angry that and he could still have the cracked crystal, and his lightsaber handle could have vents built into it to let out that pressure without letting out the cross guards. Because that's number one, those cross guards aren't big enough to actually deflect anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the stupid part. Like, had Dooku shown up with an actual like basket Cortosis handled or vibro weave handled lightsaber for a fencing saber, also would have been cool as
that
fuck.
would have been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they ever do that though. Like, they have a Jedi or a Sith with an actual fucking like basket hilt on their lightsaber, and they actually like deflect blows with it.
Yeah, I think lightsabers could get really fucking cool if you like just kind of stepped away from, because like, let's be real, there were katanas to begin with.
Yeah.
They were definitely katanas to begin with.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? The Jedi code mirrors the Bushido code quite a bit.
Yeah. So I think that if you had like other, especially like more unique styles of Jedi,
Yeah.
and they had legitimately different styles of lightsabers.
Okay, so that was one of the coolest parts of Ahsoka, right? Was that the bad guys, they aren't Sith. They don't use red. Their lightsabers are orange.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
So they're not Jedi, they're not Sith, they're not really gray Jedi.
So that's weird. I was going to say somewhere in between, but isn't that kind of what they were trying to sell gray Jedi as?
So the idea of the gray Jedi could go, they can lean more dark side, they can lean more light side. The idea is that you need both. This is what Luke fucking discovered in the original trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And this is ultimately my biggest problem with the most recent sequel trilogy, was the assassination of Luke Skywalker's character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, beyond anything, and I'm not putting that on any of the actors. Daisy Ridley, I think, did a good job with the material she had. I think all the actors did good work with what they had.
Yep.
This was purely a problem of Episode 8 fucked up so much of what Episode 7 had established. Not that Episode 7 was the greatest movie. It was a good get back into Star Wars, but it's just A New Hope all over again.
Right. Yep.
But Episode 8 fucked everything up so badly. And then Episode 9 had to spend all of its time fucking retconning that. And that was the problem. Luke did all this shit. He saved the galaxy. And then he becomes a hermit?
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Then they remove Mara Jade, who was one of the coolest fucking characters. And that's also one of the biggest things, right? Luke redeems her. Redemption is one of the biggest themes in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because even Darth Vader found redemption
Yes.
at the very end.
And that's why it's so this is going to be kind of interesting, right? Because ultimately, if you look at Christianity, Satan's biggest sin is not accepting God's forgiveness, right?
Yes.
That's why Palpatine is the embodiment of the dark side. He has no redeeming factors. The idea with Kylo Ren, Luke, well, Darth Vader, all these guys are that there is good in there. They're not exempt from their actions, but that's one of the reasons why I think it was so shitty that they just killed Kylo at the end, right? Let him actually like face the consequences.
Yeah,
that would have been if he spent the rest of his life trying to like come back from it.
Right. And like, imagine, because now they've announced a new trilogy or at least another movie with Daisy Ridley teaching the Next Order, right? So Rey is coming back. They're doing another trilogy.
Here's the thing.
Because how can they? It's a tough act to follow.
So this is what I'm saying. They should have distanced themselves as far as they could from the prior trilogy. I don't think there is too much stank on that for you to try to bring.
I agree, especially because, like, I mean, that was one of the best scenes in Last Jedi. Though, is when Kylo was talking to Han's ghost. That was a very powerful scene, and that's what I'm saying, right? They should have just had J.J. Abrams direct all of the last trilogy,
right?
Yeah,
rather than bringing in Rian Johnson.
Yeah, I think
and
that
the funny part is that have you ever watched Knives Out?
No.
What is that?
It's like a murder mystery type movie.
I thought that shit was Clue when I first.
Basically, it is, right? Rian Johnson is actually capable of writing and directing good things. I just don't think he's right for Star Wars.
Yeah, and I think that's perfectly okay. You know what I mean?
But I think that kind of goes back to because you know how I feel about Disney.
Disney ruined Star Wars.
Yeah,
100%. I agree.
Disney has ruined most everything they've got in their hands.
Marvel.
Yeah, the entirety of the Marvel movies. They fucked them up.
Like, they need to stop for a couple years. Let the cycle go down a little bit.
Yeah, because you're releasing fucking 4 movies a year, and then you have like 3 ongoing or 3 or 4 ongoing series, and then 2 or 3 new series you're trying to
It's all
introduce.
slapstick fucking hilarity.
Oh my gosh, I can't do it anymore.
I'm surprised they didn't do that shit with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they let characters die in the new trilogy.
Yeah, I'm a little
Like-
surprised of that too. And I think that so there's kind of been this, which I'm actually kind of into this idea, that there's been this trend recently of dark versions of blah. Like they just did a like an indie film, like a horror Spider-Man indie film. You know,
That sounds horrible.
yeah, I don't know if you've seen that going around where he essentially turns into Man Spider or whatever the fuck they called it.
Well, yeah, because Man Spider is an actual villain in Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he essentially gets bit by a radioactive spider and then turns into that, which is pretty fucking it's pretty it's gnarly, and I'm sure it's probably not the greatest movie out there. I haven't watched it, but I think that I think a kind of more darker Star Wars would be cool. You know what I mean?
Well,
not
You can't get much more darker than a galaxy-wide genocide involving children.
So here's the thing. This is what I'm saying, because you remember, because we had this conversation I think on the podcast when we were talking about Spawn. I think it was a Spawn episode, and we said, it was Dragon Ball Z we were talking about, and we said that almost the bigger the scale it gets, the kind of less impactful it is.
Yes.
And
Right.
I think that the same could go with even the killing of children that was in the prequel. That hits a little harder because
that shit was so wild when I
There's-
first saw it.
So here's the thing I will say. You guys might be interested in this. There's a new series releasing next month on Disney Plus called The Acolyte. And it is exploring being a purveyor of the dark side in a predominantly light side galaxy.
That's interesting. See, I think I might be into something like that, because I do think
I need to actually finish watching Ahsoka, but
yeah, I actually I figured I would kind of be into that because obvious reasons. But
well, like I
No.
said, the first episode sets up quite a bit, but then it's also one of those things where I'm like, this addition to the lore is why is there so much other random bullshit going on here then?
yeah, and I think that Star Wars is also it's suffering a sort of similar fate as the Marvel movies, where it's you had the Mandalorian, then you had Obi-Wan, then you had Ahsoka, then you had
And if you don't,
whatever you just said, I
and
forgot
if you
The
don't,
Acolyte,
the Acolyte, yeah,
the Book of Boba Fett,
yeah.
and if you don't walk,
which
the
was really
steps-
fucking Mandalorian season 3.
if you don't walk the steps perfectly and retread things that have already been explained, then you risk the mental gymnastics of trying to get your story straight. I think
Yeah.
that's what happens a lot.
I will say I have liked the Star Wars shows quite a bit more than the Marvel shows, certainly.
I think Star
because
Wars-
it's a higher pedigree.
Yeah, and I think Star Wars just lends itself to better.
But ultimately, what I think they should do, because they're working on this High Republic movie stuff, right? We haven't seen much about it or anything, but it has several problems where I have with just that anyway. Because they're like, oh, there's no dark side influence, so it's just going to be Jedi fighting pirates.
Why does that sound awesome?
I don't think it's going to be though, because
Except
it's
when one
not.
of them starts acting like fucking Jack Sparrow.
It's not like they're Mandalorians. Mandalorians have experience fighting Jedi.
So here's what I will say though: I think that it could be a cool concept if you really show the extenuating lengths you have to go through to actually fight a Jedi. If they
But
really
here's what I want: Old Republic. It's
Yeah.
fucking sitting there.
And that is true, but here's the thing. Would we really want to start exploring that world where you could get more? I would rather that be in game media. It's already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do that. We need more Old Republic media.
Yeah. And I think that is. So how certain things kind of started becoming predominantly this and predominantly that. The Clone Wars sagas have basically been big in TV. TV's been really where that shit kind of hit.
Fuck was what was the company that owned Saber Interactive that just imploded on itself?
Asper.
No, Aspyr is owned by Saber Interactive. It's the company above Saber, because they also owned Gearbox, because Gearbox just bought the Embracer Group
Okay.
because they fucking started shutting down a bunch of studios and they lost like $2 billion. It's fucking huge because the CEO's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I hope his employees eat him.
So they did. Who was it? Who is doing? Because another company came out and said that Knights of the Old Republic remake is still
Saber
going.
Interactive is the one that took over it from Aspyr.
Okay.
I don't know, dude.
Because like it's in development hell, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know that we're ever going to see it.
It's kind of the same thing that you don't want to see happen, like with Too Human and shit. Like that. Whenever I talk about development hell, Too Human always comes up.
That's one of the most prime examples.
It
of that.
was
And
supposed to be an N64 game.
Yeah.
that and Duke
Came out
Nukem
on the
Forever.
360.
Yep.
Yep.
Duke Nukem
Didn't
Forever.
Duke Nukem also come out on the 360, the Forever?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it did. It did.
And that
And
game
those
was
were-
awful.
Yeah,
yeah, and that was awesome development hell for a very long time.
it was. It was finished by Gearbox.
Yeah.
If it
Interesting.
if it goes through any type of development hell, just leave it the fuck alone.
I here's the thing. I don't want that. I genuinely don't want that because
You know who they should give it to? Larian.
yep, I was thinking the same fucking thing because they already did it good once.
Let's fucking get Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Baldur's Gate.
You know what I mean? They already,
Shit, they could set that on one fucking planet and be good.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying.
It would be amazing.
I would love that. And like we were talking about, they already did it good once, so it's like,
Right.
fucking go for it again. Like,
Actually, it's funny because I was just reading an article the other day where Sven Vink, I think that's his full name, the CEO of Larian, was like, he was in talks with Wizards about this, right? And Hasbro. And then he was super excited at first. And then he started getting like cold sweats because he's like, I have to follow up Baldur's Gate 2. And he did it, boys.
yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like
That's the other thing, right? Like, we've seen all these fucking big companies doing layoffs, and he straight up said, apply at Larian.
What a cool motherfucker.
Just
Right.
trying to find talent.
Like what a cool motherfucker. Like they're
Well, that's the thing, right? You're seeing a lot of these old, like, BioWare devs have all started their own studios. Like, David Gator is one of the ones. He has his own studio now. His first game was called Stray Gods, where you get the basic premise is that you become one of the Greek gods.
see
And it's a musical.
whoa. Okay, wasn't ready for that. Yep.
It's really fucking good,
So
boys.
that's the musicals in
30
recent
bucks.
time are peak media. I've made that argument so many
30
times.
bucks.
Okay, $30. $30
It's-
well spent.
It's fully sung. It's got Laura Bailey voices somebody in it. It's got a fucking stellar cast of characters too.
Holy
Like,
shit. Yeah.
there is talent in that game.
That completely caught me off guard.
You know
And-
what I mean? Some developers are still, especially in the AAA sphere, it's so easy to fucking name any developer and they're shitty these days, especially if they've been around
Ubisoft.
for a bit. Anybody from fucking Bethesda, anybody, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking with it, you know?
Yeah.
So Epic is a love-hate relationship for me.
The
Because
musical or the company?
no, the musical I fucking love. We can talk about that too.
Name dropping.
Yeah, we recently had a listening party for the Underworld Saga, and I cried. Anyways, I think
You'd
that,
really like Stray Gods because it's the Greek gods.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. I'd be into the idea.
It's also only like a 7-hour game, so
Which is very consumable for me because I live at work.
it might be on Switch too.
Even better. Like holy shit, that's a combination of like buy it.
Wombo.
I dropped my keys. Doing nothing, I've dropped my keys.
Eh.
I don't even know.
That's that's what I'm saying though, right? Like Aaron Flynn, who was like general manager at BioWare for a while, he started his own studio. They just released like a horror survival game called
And-
Nightingale.
And I think that's kind of wild because even people who have been in big name companies are splitting up from those companies and then starting and making projects that kind of are a bit like new, you know, and
Right.
fresh.
I mean, you look at Sea of Stars, Chained Echoes,
Yeah.
Cassette Beasts, all these fucking games that are, you know, $15 to $40 and money well spent.
yeah.
I mean,
And I think developers like that need to start getting these bigger name titles. And obviously it's all a cash grab, investors, all that good shit. But it's like you
shareholders are ultimately the poison that corrupts art.
Yeah, yep. And I think
because like, could you imagine if Star Wars as an IP was welcome to smaller than AAA titles?
Oh my
that would be
gosh,
amazing,
dude.
Because here's the thing, right? Outside of the Jedi games with Cal Kestis, what AAA Star Wars game has been like knock your socks off good recently? Because that game was a surprising hit, right? And here's the thing, right? The two Force Unleashed games, I actually really, really liked the first one. The second one had stellar gameplay, terrible fucking story, because that was a fucking cash grab that was developed in like a year.
Yeah. Well, you can tell because I don't think they had no other fucking ideas for Star Killer.
He died in the first game.
So
it depends on your ending, doesn't it?
Right.
If you kill Darth Vader, you kill Vader. There's like missions in the first game that's DLC where you go and hunt down Luke. Like you're on Hoth. Which, speaking of cool armors, his cyborg armor is super fucking cool.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever got to actually see that. Because I also like, just when it comes to the Force Unleashed and Star Killer in general, like I think that was just a cool design. You know what I mean, I think that like, just as a character, he was a cool character. And, you know,
he was 3 edgy 5 me.
He was definitely, but like that was that era in games, right?
Yes.
A lot of edgy protagonists, because that's around the time Shadow the Hedgehog was at his peak. Like,
yep.
Yeah, they could have done that. They could have done that good though, because like,
no, I'm not saying anything against it. I think it was cool enough.
Well, that's just it, right? Force Unleashed 1, solid gameplay, interesting mechanics, like combining your force powers was cool. Dumbest part was the fucking pulling the Star Destroyer, but regardless.
Yeah, sad.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
And then fucking Force Unleashed 2 happened, and it's like, what the fuck is this?
It's called character assassination. That's something I fucking hate.
I agree.
Is that when the character would have been awesome if you just left it where the fuck it was.
Right.
And
Star Killer dying at the end of the first game, that was fine.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense in the story.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that they also need to stop, because like, choose your own like adventure games, like to the point where you can be light side, dark side, you can do this, do that, right? I think you have to be very, very fucking careful about how you continue it.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful, because when it's done, it's either done, period, or you already had planned that there's going to be a continuing or differing story that all of your choices could still vaguely carry over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always going to be vaguely in reference to.
So that, I will say, is one of the things Coder 2 actually did very well. Because, so you wake up on the fucking shitty asteroid, right, in Coder 2, and you're under your underwear for like the first hour of the game. Super fucking annoying. But you meet Kreia, who teaches you how to reconnect to the Force, and then when you go and meet Atten and you're talking to him, it's in his questions with him, or in the questions with him, you actually pick what choices you did from the first game.
Yeah.
So you can pick Revan, male or female, light or dark side.
Yeah. So that,
and it changes the game.
and I think that that's like a good example of like how to do it right. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know,
although fuck you, LucasArts, for not giving Obsidian more time on that game. That's right. UBC Studio motherfucker. I'm here teabagging on your corpse.
damn. He caught the bag, bro. Yeah.
The sins are not forgotten. They may not ever be forgiven either.
But I think that, you know, I think a game like Force Unleashed did not, it just couldn't have worked.
I agree.
With a sequel, you know what I mean? If like you could have done Force Unleashed two different protagonists. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the
that
same.
would have been the better thing.
Yeah.
Is because that's the thing, right? Starkiller sacrifices himself, becomes a martyr. So Coda is now like back into being a Jedi, right?
Yeah.
You find him as this just drunk old guy and you pull him back out of it.
Yeah.
Him training a new apprentice would have been, there's so much they could have done there, right?
Yep, they could have. I think they definitely could have utilized that better.
Well,
And-
that's also one of the things I want. And Cal Kestis' actor, I can't remember his name offhand. He's talked about wanting to be in one of the live action shows.
Yeah, and he could actually pull it off.
Right.
He's that ass a character.
Right.
Yeah.
It's his face, his hair, everything. He is fucking Cal Kestis, right?
Yep.
And it would be so cool to see him show up.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing they need to start doing because the Star Wars universe is so big, right?
Yeah.
You can easily cross over, especially a lot of the newer games.
Yeah.
Because it has all those actor is the whole ass model for this fucking character.
But
And
you want to know what would be cool is like if in the Ahsoka series they just put Starkiller in there.
That'd be
that
interesting.
would have been really cool.
I also think they could add Mara Jade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool things. they
'Cause,
could've
like,
done, you know,
Dead ass when fucking Mando. This is going to be spoilers. So do you guys want me to continue or?
Full speed.
fucking yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, people.
So there's a point where they're fighting Moff Gideon, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito, does a fantastic job as the villain.
Despacito.
But a Jedi shows up on his Star Destroyer, and there was all this speculation about who it was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, it'd be really cool if it's Cal because we know he's still alive.
Yeah.
It ends up being Luke Skywalker, which was still a really good scene because there's a lot of like parallels of like Darth Vader walking through the Tantive 4 just killing rebel soldiers
Yeah.
as Luke is just destroying Moff Gideon's entire force by himself.
That's fucking brutal.
And like instead of it being the red in the dark, it's a green lightsaber in the dark. And that's when you knew it was Luke.
Yeah, okay, so that's a cool scene. That's fair.
Watch Mandalorian. At the very least, if you watch no other Star Wars show, watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah. It was so stupid. I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes and then I just stopped. And it was a bad show. I didn't
I will say
It takes about that long to get.
the cool part about The Mandalorian is that it seems like there are these irrelevant plot threads. And this is kind of the problem with having to wait for new things to come out. But everything that they've shown in earlier seasons has come back.
Yeah.
Like they haven't just left abandoned plot threads. And that's one of the things I actually really appreciate about the writing of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, yeah. So that like kudos to them for that they actually had shit that they kept consistent through the series.
Yes, there's continuity.
Because I think that's sorely missing in a lot of shows. Like, you know, obviously we talked about Marvel. Marvel's a good example of that. But like just a lot of popular TV nowadays just has shit that they just don't. There's no payoff.
That's
you know?
one of the other things, right? I feel like Star Wars in particular, Marvel too, they're sort of drowning under their own weight, right? And that's why I'm cautiously optimistic about the High Republic, because at least it's somewhat different.
Yeah.
But we're going to see Yoda in his prime, because it's like 500 years before the movies, like the current trilogy.
Prime Yoda. That's kind of cool.
That would be insane.
That's one of their big talking points. And like they're talking about like there's like light pikes and stuff. There's different lightsabers they've talked about.
Well, in like 500 years, yeah.
Yeah.
The weapons could definitely have changed. There could be like a little lost age worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, and ultimately, I think that's where they should go with it. You know what I mean? Understand that you've established a storyline that spans thousands of years.
Yeah.
And you can set a storyline anywhere between way in Old Republic to now and even in the far-flung future.
That is what I'm actually interested in. Let's go 20,000 years in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they went 20, well, I mean, the Republic at the time of the Star Wars prequel trilogy is 20,000 years old.
Yep.
Because Old Republic is set 5,000 years before that.
Yeah.
And the Republic is 15,000 years old or something ridiculous like that at that point.
That's fucking madness. They span.
They do that Warhammer fucking
Yeah.
Yep.
time.
And I think that you know, because there's so much that they can visit, and I think that they do need to like just figure out how to incorporate the expanded universe a little better, you know, because I think,
especially considering a lot of like the legacy actors are like getting pretty old.
yeah.
So it'd be totally okay to just shoot fucking 5,000 years into the future.
Yeah.
And then just start trying to establish. I mean, stay true to the source.
Mhm.
Don't do anything fucking stupid.
Well, because that's one of the things, right? Like, so in a lot of the books, or if you play, so on Yavin 4, right, where Luke ends up setting up his new temple in the original expanded universe,
Right.
it's the body of Exar Kun is there, and his Force Ghost is still there. Now, just to give you an idea on that time scale, Exar Kun was the Sith Lord before Revan.
Whew. Okay. Yeah. So that's far flung into the past.
Right.
They're not afraid to operate on that massive time scale.
Well, did you know Knights of the Old Republic 1 had a DLC?
Whoa. Hold on.
You
What?
go to Yavin. It's basically just like somewhere to play Pazak, and it's got bullshit game-breaking items on it. But like, and they're ridiculously expensive. But the idea is you just play Pazak over and over again. And it's like a little shop area. But you go to Yavin 4. You're near Exar Kun's temple.
Wow.
That's actually really cool.
I didn't realize there was any DLC for that. That was a little bit before that.
Because DLC is
the
kind of.
age of DLC.
Well, you remember like fucking Morrowind and shit had expansions. You like bought fucking whole ass discs and shit like that. And that was really the original quote unquote DLC. You know, now obviously it's such a fucking thing with every game that it's like, I also, just a little sidebar
tangent,
can't fucking stand DLC. I'm getting sick of that shit.
So I will say that it has really sort of tapered off. I mean, because here's the thing, right? People have been voting with their wallets. Excuse me. And it's just one of those things where like all these games are trying to shove in season passes and shit. And ultimately, if you want that practice to stop, don't buy it.
Yep.
That's the best thing you can do. If they put this bullshit in and you don't buy it, and they see they're losing money on it, they'll take it out.
Yeah, you just gotta, and it's a long con that it has to work fucking 5 years from now.
Well, it's weird too because it becomes a big ask at that point. Because one, obviously, fans are stupid. You know, I obviously love you to death if you're our fans, but
yeah, that's dangerous ground.
But fans, they have a nasty habit of just loyalty to the brand overall, right?
Yeah.
So if Mortal Kombat, I'm looking at you, NetherRealm Studio. If Mortal Kombat is putting in a bunch of fucking bullshit DLC, they're gonna get it because they like Mortal Kombat, right? And they think that they have to support the brand.
Jean-Claude Van Damme as like the Bloodsport fucking character for Mortal Kombat 1.
Which the thing is, hear me out though. I think that is a perfect time to do DLC.
Yeah.
Because that is a non-related character to your series.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Perfect. Guest characters, perfect. Right? What I do not like is when they have a story mode that features a fully modeled, fully voiced version of a fucking character that you know is not currently playable in that game, that you know is going to be playable in that game in the season pass. Pisses me off, dude.
And see, ultimately it'd be one thing if they're like, hey, we couldn't get like player inputs put in, so they will come out as a free DLC, or you can buy them in a pack with X guest character. Because that's the thing, right? Soul Calibur 6, they didn't put everybody in at the beginning, but they did, I think, 8 DLC characters.
Yeah.
But it wasn't buy the season pass and play the season pass. So not only do you have to give us your money and your time.
Yeah.
It was just, you buy the pass, you get their fucking gear in the character creator.
Yeah.
Which that was the biggest, coolest fucking thing Soul Calibur 6 did. You can make custom characters with everybody's shit.
Yeah, which is
including their fighting styles. Like you can give custom characters Geralt of Rivia's fighting style.
Yeah, the best way to do it, period. You can't really, like...
You want to know what's crazy about Soul Calibur 4 was the Star Wars characters.
Yeah, Yoda was bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking cannot use horizontals against that man.
It was insane. And like,
Unless you're Tollum.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
she's only like a head taller than Yoda.
they made it was so weird because like Yoda was ridiculous and Darth Vader was slow as molasses.
Yeah.
Yep. It was cool. Though.
Well,
They had a
that's because
stage and-
Darth Vader was very similar to Astaroth and Nightmare.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing because he's not that type of fighter in the universe.
So in the original trilogy, right, 4, 5, and 6, he's slowed down with age, and that's the time frame where the Soul Calibur 4 thing was, because it was a crossover with Force Unleashed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was just, that's why he's big and slow. He's not the way he used to be.
Yeah.
He's more machine than even at the end of episode 3 at that point.
That's a good breakdown.
At
of that.
least okay, fine. At least it makes sense.
Yeah. And I think that type of shit, like with Star Wars crossovers, because they did a Brawlhalla
Yeah, that's out right
crossover.
now.
Yeah, yep.
Yup.
So that's the thing, is like Star Wars is really great for that type of
Yes,
crossover stuff.
unfortunately, speaking of shitty DLC practices, though, it's time to talk about Ubisoft. Have you seen what they're doing with Star Wars Outlaws?
No.
So, they are releasing a $130 collector's edition. Speaking of things that need to die in video games.
Yeah, can we stop? Okay, hold on. Before you continue, just another quick sidebar. That, I would say, I remember when special editions were cool, bro. They would...
Last good special edition was Halo 3 with the Master Chief helmet.
So
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
the
but-
thing, right? You can still have cool collector's editions, but they have to have physical stuff, right?
Agreed.
If you're doing a digital deluxe edition and for an extra $10 I get a couple extra skins or whatever, that's fine. Like if I bought the digital deluxe edition for Baldur's Gate 3, right? And I got a couple of like cool little bullshit gimmicky items.
Yeah.
One of them is a mask that just lets you change your shape all the time. You can just cast disguise self at will.
Cool.
So, I mean, it does have very impactful gameplay benefits, but like it was $10 over the base game. So whatever. I got tangible benefits and it's items that don't actually impact the game.
Yeah, and $10 ain't really gonna sway your fucking
Right.
food bill one way or the
This
other.
is
Laid on rent.
$130 for a digital deluxe edition, which does give you the digital art book. Cool. If you're playing on console, how do you access that?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. This
Fuck.
motherfucker's got now an icon, a separate icon in my. I can't stand. So like for a console or for a PC or like my phone,
Yeah.
I'm a lot more forgiving of icons. On my PlayStation 5,
Yeah.
fuck you if you're gonna put another icon that I
Right.
have to scroll through.
Well,
Fuck yourself and your grandma.
is it even going to do that though? That's the thing, right? Does the PlayStation 5 have a in-house browser? Like, can you get online on the PlayStation 5?
No internet browser.
So
Foolishness.
if you buy that
Probably
on
for
the
the best.
PlayStation 5, how do you even get it? Because at least on the Xbox, it'll probably open Microsoft Edge.
No, what it will do, because I've gotten games with digital soundtracks.
Oh, with the soundtrack
It's
and
a
art book?
separate motherfucking item.
Oh, fuck that.
It's an icon,
Fuck that.
Yeah,
and you click it, and then it goes into a built menu.
Yeah, fuck
Because
that all
that's
the
the
way.
thing, right?
All the way.
If you're on PC or on your phone, you can just make a fucking folder that says, it would say Star Wars Outlaws, and then you would have your subfolders. You'd have your game and your other bullshit.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes.
And then I can delete that off my desktop and access it from my start menu if I feel so inclined.
Exactly.
All good and dandy. But here's one thing. You get extra skins. There's a whole ass mission locked behind the collector's edition.
Fuck that.
And they're like, oh, it doesn't have any gameplay benefits or anything. It's a whole ass fucking mission.
Yeah, that is time behind the fucking controller.
Yeah, it's a part of your game you locked out.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Day one DLC that is anything beyond skins. Like, so speaking of Jedi Survivor, the only thing that I got as a benefit for pre-ordering that game, I got a kick-ass fucking orange lightsaber crystal and some different like lightsaber attachments and like a different poncho.
Right.
I got some skins and shit. Again, it was $10 extra.
Yeah.
Because I got the digital deluxe edition.
That well, and that's the thing is $10, I think. And I think that's kind of the point, especially when you're not getting a real tangible art book that you can display and things like that. No, you're getting a digital art book, which just means a folder with fucking pictures. You know what I mean?
According to Ubisoft, since we're going this route, they're like, oh, people need to get used to not owning their games, which is hilarious because I saw a headline today where a guy was like, if buying means I don't own it, piracy is not stealing then.
That
I saw that exact same.
Yeah.
fucking round of applause for
Raise the Jolly Roger, boys!
That's what I'm saying. Fucking let's go. The only thing that sucks is DRM practices. Fuck that
Oh, yeah.
shit.
I saw some about fucking Riot Nukes League, basically, with DRM bullshit.
Yeah. Which I like. I mean, the thing is, I get it, right? You want to make your money cool. Stop being a money grubbing prick. Because, again, with something like skins or something like that, cool. And there's a lot of people who would buy season passes if all it meant was skins.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like, if you look at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
That's why Fortnite's Battle Pass works, though, right? It's skins.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep.
And you technically only ever have to buy one Battle Pass if you play the whole season, right?
Yep.
If you get to level 100, you recoup that, and then you can use that 1,000 V-Bucks to buy the next one.
Yep. So really, it's like a perfect self-fulfilling season pass, basically. You know what I mean? And that's a good way to do it. That's again, Epic. That's why I say love-hate relationship with those guys.
Yep.
But at the end of the day,
Not
it's like
enough Gears of War anymore.
yeah.
Well, that's Microsoft.
yeah, because you got to get past them first to make it. But I think that's the thing, and you look at DLC practices like again 120 or like you said 120.
That's $130.
$130 to get a mission that you should have been able to play in the first place because you're paying $80 for this game to begin with. Let's just keep it
After
real.
tax, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're
Yep.
paying $80 fucking dollars for this game to begin with. I don't want any of my content locked. Second of all, it's like if essentially what I'm getting is a mission I should have been able to play in the first place and a few little bells and fucking whistles
And digital pictures.
Digital pictures are worthless.
Yep.
They literally have no value.
That's true.
You have
That's
created
why NFTs fucking shit themselves, Dad.
You know what I mean?
This has gone in a lot of different interesting directions. We've covered like all types of different things.
We have covered a lot because this is also kind of like a recovery episode.
Yes. But it's just like, fuck Ubisoft. Because that's the thing, right? I was actually excited for Star Wars Outlaws. And now my concern is that I think Ubisoft is not going to get a lot of sales. And then they're going to be like, oh, single player games don't sell that well.
Yep.
And it's going to be like, no, you cocksucker. Your shitty business practices are why this game that looks really fucking cool. And I love the idea of finally getting to be a Han Solo-esque character in fucking Star Wars.
Because like that has never happened.
Right. And here's the other thing, right? Do you know what the mission is? It's in Jabba's fucking palace.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
that's
fuck
out of
yourself.
pocket.
Right. You're going to be a
fuck yourself.
fucking smuggler in Star Wars, and you're going to lock Jabba's fucking palace mission behind your bullshit collector's edition.
Nah, go fuck yourself for that. Go fuck yourself for that. That's what I'm saying. You can't sit there and try to tell me that, it's not essential.
You don't think that that's essential? You don't
Right.
think
And
that
that's the thing, right? That is why
slave girls in their golden bikinis.
that is why AAA gaming is dying, though, right? Is because of bullshit like that. We're seeing. So I talked about this before we actually started recording, but Square Enix just announced they had to eat $140 million loss as they restructure.
Yep.
That's wild.
Yep, which means we're losing everything except for shoo-ins, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be Final Fantasy VII bikini beach volleyball.
Fucking, because, let's be real, bro. Also, sidebar, fucking A. How I did the Final Fantasy VII remake become a weird cloud and every girl dating sim?
You can also go on a date with Barrett.
I mean, they carry that over, which I'm glad they did. But
I
like,
think you can also get get on a date with Nanaki for all you extra weirdos out there.
Damn. That's how Chewbacca was made.
I mean, Cloud's a little short for that.
Oof.
Anyway, disengaging. Yes. So it's just one of those things where like these companies are hemorrhaging money and they're like, single player games don't sell. Why? We don't know. And then they're fucking sitting here scratching their ass with their fucking nose.
Yeah. And the thing is,
like, we need some anal cranialectomies on these folks, people.
And the thing is, because you have to do all these shady practices because you are doing dumb things to develop your game in the first place. Right. Where you have people you can find online right now to do your voice acting and all the modeling and everything like that you could pay like a couple $100,000. But instead you're paying $7 million for a fucking actor to come in and lend their likeness and their voice. And that is the most expensive thing you paid for in developing that game. Not the system that is broken and fucking buggy. Not the models that you're going to fucking lock behind a paywall or the missions that are all shitty and repetitive. No, like, go fuck yourself.
Here's the thing, right? I will say one of the more recent stories, there's two, right, that really turned shit around because they were bullshit when they released. No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077. They are completely different games now. And it's one of the things where like the CEO of CD Projekt Red straight up said it was like he was pressured by shareholders, right? And I think Hello Games said much the same thing.
Yeah.
But it was funny because I was reading an article maybe like a month and a half ago at this point. People that are still playing No Man's Sky were like, we need you guys to stop releasing free updates, please. There's too much shit for us to do in this game. And they're also like, we actually want to give you guys money for some of this stuff because it's all been cool shit.
Yeah.
They're like, here's new species. You can do multiplayer. Here's new planets.
Yeah. No Man's Sky is, I actually got into that game a little while ago. I mean, I've stopped playing since, but that was a really, really cool game.
It's like actually really good now.
Yeah. But I think, so here's the other thing, which is sad, but it becomes like a thing where it's like too little too late, right? So I think that Cyberpunk, it became good. It's really, if you look at it and play it right now, you're going to have a great time, right?
Yeah.
But Cyberpunk 2 is in development and it's probably going to be released within the next probably year or two. And
Witcher 4 is the next game they're focusing on.
Yep. Okay, I mean, which is fine. Okay, so
Cyberpunk 2 is in development, but it's maybe got like, it's probably in like they're planning things right now. There's like 5 guys working on it, and everybody else is on fucking Witcher 3 or 4.
Fair enough. But I think that being released for that long, like having a game out in public that long before it gets good, and I understand, and it sucks, and I feel for the developers. However, like, it's gonna sound bad. Give up the ghost eventually, right? So you put out a product. The product sucks. You know what I mean? You've lost a lot of people because there's a lot of people that you can look at it and say this game's fucking fantastic right now, and they're still gonna be like, I'm not touching it.
Well, it was interesting because with Cyberpunk in particular, it was really the Edge Runners anime on Netflix, right? Like Cyberpunk had fucking sort of like there were people still playing it, they were patching it, and they're still releasing bug fixes and stuff because they have like 4 guys for that.
Yeah.
But because they still patch Witcher 3 every once in a while, right? Like they'll be like, somebody finds some crazy new bug and they're like, all right, hold on. Tim, go to your computer. Enter. Okay, moving on. Go back to Witcher 4. But it's one of those things where, like it had really tapered off, but they were on like 1.7 because they had always planned on releasing the one DLC, right? After the reshuffle of the fuckery of that was that game's release.
Yeah.
They were like, all right. We're doing 1 expansion instead of our plan 2 because we're going to pour all those resources into fixing the game.
Yeah.
And like they added a lot of shit. Like now the gangs will hunt you if they're mad at you and you're just driving on the road. They'll try and kill you. And yeah, it really was Edge Runners because as that came out, all these people that were watching it on Netflix were like, wait, there's a video game? They all went and fucking bought it. And it shot straight to the top of Steam again, right?
Smart move.
Witcher 3 did the same fucking thing when the first season of The Witcher came out. People were like, there's games? And I'm like, just play 3. Don't go back to 1 and 2.
They're remaking 1.
I'm aware.
That's happening.
But I'll play that when it comes out. Witcher 1 is
yeah, I know.
It's tough. It is tough.
It's tough to look back at.
Here's the thing, right? If you're gonna go play The Witcher 1 now, just focus on the firepower and win the game. That's it.
Yeah.
That will save you the most headache with that fucking game.
But I think that, there is, like, don't release it bad, right? And try to save it, especially in Star Wars case, because there's been a lot of negative behind Star Wars media recently that I don't think you have the luxury to be shitty on release.
I agree.
You gotta, like, this whole $130 thing, that's stupid.
Well, and that's the other thing, right? That's one of the big problems with keeping such a big franchise in only the AAA gaming sphere, right? Because you might think, oh, we're going to make the most money from this. But one of the problems that they ran into when EA had the exclusivity license is most of the games that were coming out were dog shit.
Yep.
Hot fucking dog
It was insane.
And somehow in this time frame when EA was the only fucking company that could make Star Wars games, and they bought BioWare, Knights of the Old Republic 3 never came up.
Which is
That was
insane.
a big fucking miss, boys.
Yeah. And especially when we're talking about somebody like BioWare who is big in the sci-fi sphere anyways. You know what I mean?
Big in the RPG sphere.
Yeah,
Could
because
have been Mass Effect.
Yeah.
In the Star Wars
here's the
universe.
thing,
Yeah.
right? We talked about Baldur's Gate 2. That was BioWare.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate 1, BioWare. Which
Yeah.
is funny, because did you guys ever play the Dark Alliance games?
Yes.
Yes, it did.
That was actually Black Isle Studios, which
Really?
formed into Oblivion.
Wait. Really?
Yeah, Dark Alliance was Black Isle Studios. And they were supposed to do a Dark Alliance 3. And I was reading an article that was like, now's a really good time for them to bring back the Dark Alliance franchise.
Yeah.
Because Dark Alliance had the top-down action
Yeah,
combat.
that isometric.
Yeah.
There's
But it
Diablo
wasn't the turn-based. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Diablo-based.
Yup.
Yep.
And I tell you what, man, my one friend and I, we put so many fucking hours into Dark Alliance 2, man.
I was before I even realized that it was a fucking Dungeons and
Dragons game, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
We had the Dwarf Rogue and the Dark Elf Monk. Great fucking team.
And and kind of speaking of like Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like I'm just thinking about this now. They should
Oh, fuck you, Hasbro. But continue. I'll finish my point in a second.
since they're supposedly still planning on making the Knights of the Old Republic remake, because it was a D20 system vaguely
Mhm.
based off of 3.5. You want to know it's kind of based off of 3.5 would be Pathfinder 2E. They should just make a Pathfinder 2E game with Star Wars.
Ooh.
Well,
3 action economy, just fucking that would actually be kind
well,
of
the
cool.
funny, like, think
If
about
you look at the bar from Knights of the Republic, though, it's kind of already there, right? Because you could queue up your actions.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, because why not Starfinder too? Because they got
Starfinder 2E would be the system to do it in.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So, speaking of that, right?
Starfinder should just come out and then also have Star Wars right then.
yeah.
There is actually Star Wars 5e. It's it used the OGL from D&D 5e
Right.
to make a Star Wars system. And my wife and I are watching, it's an older campaign on Dimension 20 at this point. It's called Starstruck Odyssey. So Brennan Lee Mulligan is the DM, and he actually used like a graphic novel series that his mom wrote as the setting for the world, and they adapted SW5E into the system.
Wow.
That's
But like
cool.
I went and looked in the lore, they have Jedi Sentinel, Jedi Consular, they have Berserker, they have Operative,
Dude,
they have Scoundrel, Soldier, they have all this shit.
and really, that's a good example of how, like, some of the best Star Wars shit is like fan shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the one thing about having such a dedicated fan base to something is that, granted, you get a lot of weird shit, but I think that you get a lot of very cool, very like well-made fan
Yeah.
stuff. Like
I agree.
games, tabletop systems, fucking costumes, like, and shit like that. Like, you go on Etsy right now, you can find fucking Star Wars anything, and it's people just made the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be insane, though, for Starfinder 2E to come out, and then they're like, new Star Wars game using Starfinder 2E rules.
Immediately release like an adventure path.
Yeah.
That would be
Oh, speaking of that, since we're on that topic, did you guys see NASA actually made a D&D 5e module?
That's crazy.
Like, it's got its own map, lore, everything.
Which is super cool.
I would have rather seen a Star Wars 5th ed mod instead of Lego. There, I said it.
Yeah,
Spicy take.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you can use your Star Wars Legos with your D&D Legos now.
True, very true.
I'm not. So, as a quick aside, I just can't fucking stand the Lego Dungeons and Dragons thing. My son is really into the dragon, to like that huge set. But fuck that. Should have been Star Wars.
To get into what I was going to say real quick, Hasbro is taking away the ability for you to buy piecemeal stuff on D&D Beyond. So if there's a class that you really play, like let's say you're a Warlock player and you're like, every character I'm going to play is going to be a different subclass of Warlock. Whatever subclass that book is in, you now have to buy the whole book. And since they charge $30 for a digital fucking book for some ungodly reason.
Man, fuck all these people for this shit. It's not worth anything.
And since you don't fucking own it, because it doesn't.
Well, at the very least, with PDFs, they can say, oh, no one can download this anymore after X point or whatever. But if you download it and just save the file, you can recover it.
It's not a PDF. D&D Beyond is
that's true.
D&D Beyond is the shitty.
But even the PDF version of the fucking books are like $30. Like if you go on Drive-Thru RPG, D&D books are fucking ridiculously expensive, which is fucking stupid because you can still go buy like the D&D 3.5 shit for like $15.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. I've been thinking about, because like we've been watching all these tabletops and stuff and I'm playing a lot of them right now. I've actually been thinking about trying to pick up 4E again.
I'm interested to see how that goes. I actually wouldn't mind playing that.
I would run a fucking one shot with you guys for D&D 4E if I get the books.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And that is exactly what we will do.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Because I haven't played with you in a minute. Like,
yeah.
Because you've been running your shit, I've been running my shit.
That sounds...
And also, right? Because it is kind of the perfect jump out. Because next week is going to be tabletop, so watch out for that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
But yes, I think this was amazing. This has been an amazing episode, and it went so much better than the last one. But yeah, I think
we got our insults out early.
Yes,
we did. We got the weird shit out early too, which I enjoyed.
But I think in light of all these corporate like dumb shit that has happened with Star Wars, I think there's no universe now where I can accept it. I will still consume it, but I will not buy it. I have to pirate it. So this begins our dark side arc, boys.
Well, as that article said, if we can't buy it and own it, pirating it isn't stealing it.
And as Palpatine says, do it.
Delete.
And with that, we have reached the end. We are Critical Hit, and that was our May the 4th special.
Yes, hopefully you all enjoyed our, we went through a dunk session, we went through like, a fan-based dick riding session. It got really interesting.
Yeah, we had ourselves a heated argument, which is something we haven't done in a minute.
It's been a while, that's true.
It was called ruthless names again. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was great. And Star Wars is the perfect thing to bring that out. Find us wherever you find your favorite Star Wars tribute, Super Dunking, which we have to get back into eventually.
Yeah.
We haven't forgotten about it. And all this dunk stored up.
It's bleeding into other topics.
I'm thinking Duncan.
Well, tabletop is next week.
We'll fit it in there.
Google, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, others.
things. Lots of things.
We're on YouTube at CritTube. It ain't dead yet, just on life support. We got something coming down the pike eventually. Find us on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, at KriticalHit Official, currently known as KriticalHit Official. New episodes every Friday. Until then, may the force be with you.
Do it.